Welcome back to the Shortcut Live, our daily live video show. We are streaming daily, approximately at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We are live for 1 hour a day. We are streaming from San Francisco in this case because of this thing, the Samsung Unpacked. And we have the guys in New York and the UK. So, subscribe to the Shortcut, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. But let's go to the rundown. Today, we actually have a special interview with Samsung at Samsung Unpacked. Blake Geiser gave us kind of Samsung's perspective on how they're marketing this phone and some of the highlights of the new features, including privacy display and Horizon Lock. We're going to tease out that full interview that's going live later today. We just cut that interview. We also have our next story, Resident Evil Requiem, new game for the Resident Evil series that's on PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox. So across the board, it's very good. I'll keep it at that because Adam is going to give you the full details. Apple launch, it's confirmed. We kind of know what's coming. Even Tim Cook is teasing out there. So no mysteries there. That stuff is coming next week, right in the middle of Worldwide Developers Conference. Amazon Alexa Plus gets an update. So if you're a Prime user, stay tuned for that segment. And last but not least, the Nothing Phone 4a in pink gets semi-revealed. We'll have more about that in the upcoming hour. So stay tuned for those stories. Let's welcome my co-hosts at The Shortcut. We got Max Bondano, we got Kevin Lee, and we got Adam Jessica wearing a Shortcut. Is that the sweatshirt or t-shirt?
It's the sweatshirt or hoodie, as we call them over here.
Corporate sellout,
right? He gets the first raise.
What a brown noser!
There are no raises, but
that's like very limited edition. I've never received one of those.
Yeah,
well, this is it. You guys have everything.
He made it himself. Please,
you haven't earned it yet, Kevin. That's
okay. Wow, this
is it.
Not in 3 years. I have not earned it.
No, the Shortcut swag is for closers. Okay.
Okay. Wow. All right. Jeez.
For veterans, for first joiners. That's me.
So, no, I do have a bunch of those in my apartment. And now that my apartment's cleaned out because we just opened up a new office in Flatiron in New York City, I actually know where they are. So that's really good.
That's a huge dub.
Yeah. So let's go and talk about this phone here. It's a Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. I am abandoning my Fold for a little while. I really like Samsung's Fold, but I got the Ghost case on there from D-Brand. Definitely two of the highlights we're going to talk about because we talked about that with Blake from Samsung. Let's roll that first clip about the privacy display feature and in Samsung's words, what it does and how they kind of articulate it's going to change the game for smartphones.
You can go in and customize it a million different ways. You can go and choose specific apps that you want it to turn on when you open them up, like banking apps or medical apps or whatever it might be. You can have it turn on automatically when you're putting in passcodes and patterns when you're going to unlock your phone so people can't see how you are unlocking your phone. I love the notification level, like the little drop down that comes down, right? That is crucial information, but I don't want the rest of the screen to be blocked. So you can have it on a specific pixel level, as you mentioned, for notifications. I love that. Yeah, so the rest of the screen is available. If you and I are watching something and a notification comes up, I'll be the only one to see the notification part, but you can see the rest of the screen. So, it's just all about providing that privacy to you however you want it.
Yeah, so we've been testing out that feature really just in depth the past 24 hours. And I have it on currently. Let's see it there. And if I turn it a little bit, just the screen completely turns off. But as Blake and I were talking about there, if you have a text message that comes in and that notification comes down, someone else is looking at your phone, and maybe you're like showing a photo to a person and you don't want to clue them in on someone else is texting you. Maybe it's, just a message that you don't want out there, and they're just standing to your right or your left or even above you. It is able to shade that for that person that's off axis by turning off specific pixels. Really amazing technology. Would you guys get use out of this? Is this going to change sexting for society?
Right.
And that's why we're all
Okay.
excited for it. That's why,
All right.
the first thing I
Okay.
thought about is how can I use it to, have a nefarious affair behind my future wife's back. No, I'm joking.
Of course.
Just heard the door
Yeah,
open
obviously.
and a knife be thrown.
No, it's a crazy feature. I mean, I think as well, like it's a really good feature because I don't know if this is a common thing on flights in the US now, but when I was flying Switzerland for that Logitech event, it's the first time that I heard the stewardesses actually say, don't be taking photos, don't be using your phone cameras and stuff, because there's so many times where people will be like at a softball game or a baseball game or on a flight, and they'll just be going about their daily business, texting someone or scrolling, and then someone behind them will be over the shoulder, doing a bit of shoulder surfing, recording them or taking a picture. And most of the time it'll be pretty innocent stuff. But if you want to sext your girlfriend or your wife or whoever you've got on the side, you should be allowed to do that privately.
Sure. And Adam, so does it take up a lot of space when you do these recordings over the shoulder of people?
Yeah, I mean, I always ask them if they could just move it a little bit so I can get the lighting. It's not great that I bring a ring light and
Turn the
shine
screen a
that
little
over the
bit more
top
my
of
way.
them.
Yeah.
My favorite is always when there's like an older person and they have to blow up the font so big and they
My
send like
dad's
the
like
most
that.
insane messages. I've seen so many of those videos on like X over the years. It's hilarious.
My dad uses the biggest font possible on the iPhone, and it is comically sized. So I think it would be a good feature for him as well.
Absolutely. And as we're saying, you can turn it on an app level. All right. And that's really nice because if you have a banking app, the medical apps, even just texting, I think that's going to be the main use case for it for a lot of people. You can block a specific bubble that comes down, like the texting notification. You can block it on an app level, fields where you're typing in a password. Probably this needs to be in every single phone in the next 2 years. If it's not in that phone, it's kind of a miss. So super awesome. Kevin, what do you think?
I can't wait to see it at Samsung. Well, I won't see it, but you guys will see it at MWC. Samsung Display is going to have an event, and you can actually see the LCD. What's different?
That's cool.
Compared to a regular LCD. If it's not different at all, then more reason for it to go into every phone.
Right. Yeah. It's made by Samsung Display. They're making it for the past 5 years, but it's kind of like it's a little magical. And I'm just surprised that Apple, a privacy first company, was not the one to roll out with this. So big W for Samsung. And the next thing we're going to talk about are the cameras. The cameras are great because while the megapixel has not changed, the megapixel count, it does let in more light with better aperture. It is, from what I'm testing, the night photos are good. It's not going to rock your world if you have an S25 Ultra, right? But it is, better in side-by-side comparisons when you put it up there. You're not going to spot the difference, and it's going to make your photos perfect. But in a night setting, you will see less noise. That's super important. There's one feature I want to talk about that I asked Blake about, and it's this horizon lock feature. And Kevin and I use GoPros a lot. That's been a feature on a GoPro, but not on a phone, where you can take your phone, start recording, and if you're a little bit off axis, it doesn't warp the image, and you can even go like this, and it'll still stay steady with the horizon. So it's like horizon lock. Let's roll that clip 2, with Blake.
Well, you see a lot of people out there with gimbals trying to keep things steady, and we have had super steady within our cameras to give you, a nice smooth video that you're doing. But it wasn't ever locked to a horizon. So with the horizontal lock with super steady, when you have your phone on you and you can twist it 360 degrees
All the way.
And when you play back that video, it would have stayed and shown you that same image the entire time. It wouldn't have spun your whole phone around. So it gives you this level of control that you don't have to worry about taking this happening, because all people are going to see is just that still.
Love that. So that's a great explainer of what it does. We're going to have that full interview, throw a bunch of B-roll to make it contextual on there. But Horizon Lock, kind of a feature that we don't see on other phones necessarily. We see what they have had, which is that super steady, video stabilization. That's great. But this is something on top of that where it locks it to the horizon. There's no need to do that in post. It just happens automatically. It makes me more excited about the camera and video, which iPhone is usually the best at video. We're going to test this out to see if Samsung closes the gap. I don't think they're in one generation Samsung's ever going to surpass what the iPhone is doing, but they've made significant steps. They have something called, what is it, APV, Kevin?
Yeah,
and that is their codec for, basically log and not having
Double ProRes.
Yeah, and not having files just every time it's saved, become less and less. I don't want to say corrupt. Yeah, lose quality. So that's an important thing. They're trying to appeal to those creators. Even at Samsung Unpacked, they recorded it on an S26 Ultra.
Apple move.
Event. Right. It
shot on iPhone. Yeah.
Totally true. But it worked. It looked good. I didn't notice at first until they said that it was being recorded on a smartphone. So awesome. After 24 hours, I have to say, I like the phone. I've got it set up. I got my D brand case on there, the Ghost case. Have a couple of D brand cases, but it's really funny how much Samsung is pushing the fact that all their cases have the magnetic back, or ones that you buy have the ability to replicate MagSafe, even though it's not built in. It's another question I asked Blake, but they're really going for thinness. They said it's an answer, right? It's an answer we got. I don't know if everybody's satisfied with it, but the fact that they're so hell-bent on thinness, I think we could see other changes come down the line. Speculating with another content creator, Jonathan Casey, and we were like, they didn't even mention the S Pen once. The S Pen's here. It's not Bluetooth, but it's still here. They didn't mention it once. So if they're obsessed with thinness, is this the next thing to go? Max, what do you think?
It has to be. No, I think S Pen goes of like, if that's their actual philosophy, which I do not think it is, but if they're currently obsessed with every phone being as thin as it can be, then they have to get rid of the S Pen. They have to stop doing 200 megapixel cameras unless they want like a gigantic camera sensor on the back, which I guess they could do. But they have to get rid of that. They have to either reduce the battery size or switch to silicon carbon, which they probably won't do because they're like Samsung, Apple, Google, all notorious for not doing silicon carbon batteries.
Right. There's a bunch of reasons for that too, right?
And like with the Ultra series, I just don't buy that they want it to be super thin. Like I don't believe that at all. I think the regular S27 could be super thin, but I don't think S27 Ultra, whatever that phone could be, is going to be any thinner than this one is.
I think it still needs to be their powerhouse and the one that does gaming the best. It has a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 in there for top tier performance, because that is their biggest one up over Google with Google's Tensor chip that's not nearly as strong. So they're the Android of record to kind of have all the best, specs. I don't think they're going after like Air type of thinness or Edge.
No, obviously,
world, but they're trying to make it as thin as possible. Otherwise, why wouldn't they do Qi charging with MagSafe or Pixel Snap abilities in there? I just think the design team. And I've told the story before, but when I went to go visit LG, and I think it was their last smartphone, someone asked a question of one of the designers at dinner, and like, hey, why do you have like a smaller sensor size than Samsung and all the other Androids? It's, your camera, that tries to be as many megapixels and just as good, but the sensor size is always smaller. And he had the cameras, and he said, design team won. right? That was his like just sad phrasing. So the
defeated.
design team, right? The design team wanted a thinner phone, so therefore the sensor, larger sensor, did not fit into their design ethos. So I always take that as there's multiple teams competing at Samsung in Korea, and I think I could imagine that same battle happened with wireless Qi charging where they were testing it out, but the design team, you said, you know what, thin is in, Apple's doing thin, we might as well do it too.
But they literally didn't do thin because they made the 17 Pro Max thicker than the 16 Pro Max. Like they made it chunky to fit all the stuff. Like bigger battery, better cameras, Qi charging, proper Qi 2 MagSafe charging, like the whole nine. They shoved it a vapor chamber, a brand new vapor chamber, never been in an iPhone before because they made it thicker.
But you know what got the headlines?
Yeah, what?
It was the Air. It was the iPhone Air that got the headlines. It wasn't, the one everybody gravitated toward.
Not the orange iPhone.
Right. Yeah, the orange iPhone.
It may have gotten all the eyeballs, right? But it did not get all the sales.
It did not get all the sales.
You know what?
Pro line did.
Oh, what's funny is like last year, Apple decided to do titanium phones, and then Samsung had to follow suit, and now like Apple's done the thicker iPhone, and there's
with aluminum.
Samsung's still doing a little thinner, which is
Yeah,
I really think Samsung just panicked this whole generation.
Oh yes,
they just went back to the drawing board. And they're like, okay, let's just somehow get by with these phones. And
that's
we have the S26. I mean, the privacy screen is really cool, but like everything else is so similar and just kind of boring by extension.
Yeah.
I just think they could have done a lot more with it, but we still have to review it, so we'll see if we like it.
Yeah.
Also, the rumors that the whole thing flipped, like they were going to do something crazy, and then they're like, oh, we can't do it this year.
They're like, never mind.
Right. That's why sometimes in our reviews, we like to kind of see what's happening, what's percolating for next year's phone. It's like, is it worth waiting for if there's a big shift? We were hoping to see it this year. We didn't, but the privacy display feature, I don't know. I really, really like it. We deal with a lot of confidential information. So like when I'm at events, for example, the embargo hasn't lifted on information we may have ahead of time. So I'm in a auditorium with a lot of people on my laptop trying to edit something. Having a privacy filter that's like $12 on Amazon is not really effective because then I can't see it off axis when I want to. So I don't want someone to spy camera my screen who is sitting behind me because not everybody has signed that NDA. I see it useful for myself. I see it useful for just confidential information in addition to like the text that you don't want someone looking at over your shoulder and it's not like they're spying on you. I was showing my phone to someone at CES. I got a text from someone where I don't want that person over my shoulder looking at, but I want to show that person a picture. Super, super handy. I could see it being very practical for a lot of people. I think Samsung display is going to have a lot of people ordering this display because Samsung manufactures displays for the iPhone and just a lot of other companies. So it's a killer feature. Is it going to make the phone a 5 out of 5? I doubt it, but it's not going to make it like a 3 out of 5.
I have a prediction. Apple's going to pull a fast one on Samsung and say they're just going to use a Face ID scanner. And like, if you point your phone at someone who's not you, it's just going to black out that part of the screen because it could just change those pixels.
But who's making that screen that has the pixels that
it could just like say, oh, the dynamic island, just black that out instead.
I was going to say that's going to suck up battery life so much.
Yeah.
If you're constantly running Face ID, like I don't think that's very practical unless you jam like a humongous battery in the phone.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. That's going to use so much power.
Right.
Who has excellent battery life on their phone? It's Adam. Adam.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about? The iPhone 13 Pro is like some of the best battery life I've ever tested as of 4 years ago.
I'm basically walking around like it's got its own oxygen tank, which is charging, plugged in all the time.
Oh, tragic.
One interesting thing actually with this privacy display, which kind of like creates a new problem that I didn't really think about, is they're going to have to roll this out to smartwatches as well. Because if I've got a phone which is, keeps everything private, then I'm probably going to have to turn off notifications on my watch, right? Because then it kind of defeats the purpose. But I think that would work really well on the watch because it's a smaller screen. It's a very specific angle you look at as well. Yeah, I think that could be the next move as well, because you don't want one device that could give you away and then another one which is protecting you.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I've noticed that in, I would say, some of the cases where someone's taking a photo of me and I see a text notification coming through on my phone, and I'm like, well, that's awkward now, right? So if it were to have this off access ability to censor my screen for other people, I think that would be really good. Yeah, I could see that extending to, I think Samsung Display is going to be fine. Like, Samsung as a corporation, they are making gobs of money from memory. They're making gobs of money from display usage. So I think their business, while they're not going to touch Apple in terms of flagship smartphone sales, I think they're doing just fine on components. So super interesting to see what they're cooking up, and we'll probably see some Samsung Display novelties at Mobile Congress, which will be at this week. Is that right, Max?
Oh my God! So you have to fly home today or tomorrow? When are you coming home?
Tonight.
So he comes home tonight. He lands in the morning in New York. We then fly back out. You fly out to Barcelona tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah,
Like
so
12
6:30.
hours.
So he's in the city for like 12 hours.
Like
He's gonna
11
come
hours.
home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do a live stream, do
and
laundry,
do a show.
pick up my passport, note to self, need passport.
Right.
I know where it is. I just have to get it. I bring it on the trip.
You need to bring it.
So I have to go home.
Get the passport, get the laundry done, repack, go to JFK, fly out, and then I'll see you Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then go to visit our friends at Lenovo. Just like get off the flight.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully my hotel room's ready. Hopefully I get upgraded, because two nights of red eyes, probably not the best.
It's going to be brutal.
So
Matt's going to just seem like he's drunk next week during the show. I promise you he's not. He's just going to be really like high on something.
He's going to need the
Just
oxygen.
high
tank.
on no sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, send over your oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He needs you to FedEx overnight that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. I've been testing it out. You're going to get another article from us on shortcut.com, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So
Yeah.
do subscribe. Thank you. All right. So let's go on to the next thing. This was a top story yesterday on the Shortcut. It's Resident Evil Requiem. It's a new release for the Resident Evil series that's been around since like the original PlayStation. Definitely something where I think the PS5 and the Xbox are probably the go-to for me. But Adam, you played it on PC. It's also on Switch too, which surprisingly holds its own. Tell us about this review and what you thought of it. Is it as good as some people are saying?
Yeah, so I finished Resident Evil Requiem pretty close to the embargo, just because you know what it's like sometimes getting codes. But it was testament to how good the game is that I was able to sit there, plow loads of hours into it at a time. It's one of the best paced games I've played for a while. I think that's like a chronic problem in the film industry and the video games industry. There's a lot of times where you'll watch something or play something and it'll just get to a point where it drags or it wraps up too quickly. This just felt like a really consistent experience from start to finish. So it is out tomorrow, February 27th. Like you said, it's for PS5, PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch 2, which is huge because it shows that Nintendo's new console is powerful enough to get these big third-party games that simply they couldn't run before. They'd miss out on them, or they get those terrible cloud versions, which if anyone bought those, I've got, something I'd like to sell you instead because they were terrible. But yeah, it runs really well on Nintendo Switch 2 by all accounts. On PC, which is where I played it, it runs the best, obviously. If you've got the hardware, you can crank it up. It looks phenomenal. It's one of the best looking games I've played for a long time. Just the details, the consistency, and just it really feels now we're getting to a stage, without sounding hyperbolic with games, there's moments where it looks photorealistic, where like you'll be following a character in like a stressful scene and the hair's moving around and the coat looks so realistic and you're just like, wow. Like you say, Matt, I remember playing this on the original PlayStation with tank controls and just
You're almost a
moving
Jill
awkwardly
sandwich.
around. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Whose blood is that? And we had pre-rendered backgrounds, and now it's just, yeah, as you can see in the footage, it's absolutely incredible. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 Editor's Choice Award, so it wasn't a perfect
where did it
experience.
miss?
It missed simply because if you have played Resident Evil 7, so if you played any of the Resident Evil games with a first-person perspective like Village, and you've also played the remake, it is essentially a culmination of those two styles in one game, and it works really well. But I can't really sit here and say it does anything particularly new or groundbreaking. It's just a really well-refined, almost perfected version of the formula. And it's nice because we've seen a lot of games do that where they'll spin off or they'll try something. And it's very rare that they ever make a game where you get both, sides. And it works really well. What was really cool as well is Capcom lets you change it as well, which is testament to them. So if you did want to play Leon's campaign in first-person mode, you can. If you did want to play Grace's survival horror campaign in third person, you can. Oh. I really like that because we do live in a bit of a time where, as we've seen with a few games recently, where studios kind of make the games for themselves. They think they know best. The game comes out, players are like, don't like this, wish we could do this. So for Capcom to do that just shows that, yeah, they've got a confidence in it and they want to, satisfy players. So really good. The game's currently on 88 Metacritic average, which makes it one of the second best rated Resident Evil games of all time, just under Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's a blast. I'm going to play through it again. It's one of those games where it encourages multiple playthroughs. Just very, very good. So if you do like Resident Evil, if you like the first-person versions, if you like the third-person versions, if you want something scary but not cheap, so it's not just going to be jump scares all the time and all the rest of it, go and get it tomorrow. Or get it now. You can pre-order it. I think I read somewhere that physical copies have already sold out in the US, which is mad, if true. So make sure you check our links on the shortcut.
Right, get those affiliate links going. It's in Adam's review. And we will make a nickel off of each one.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't even know if that software. It's just an interesting thing. Yeah. Well, that's just one person buying.
Quite rattling.
Yeah.
It kind of what you're saying about where it doesn't break any new ground, but it's a really just seamless production of a Resident Evil game that we know and love. I think we see that in the tech world sometimes, where it's like they come out with something new. It's the first year of that iteration, but it's not perfect. And then the second year, well, that doesn't do anything brand new compared to the prior year, but it kind of fixes all the bugs and like makes it a really good version of what came out that prior year. So I find that's what this is here. It's like, oh, this is really entertaining.
A really simple example of that, which I highlighted in the review, is obviously you've been shooting zombies since the first Resident Evil. But when you shoot zombies, and just the zombies in general in Resident Evil Requiem, they react so realistically. Like their eye will fall out of the socket, their head will come off a little bit. Right. They'll slump over and like hit into a wall if you shove them. And it just feels so satisfying because before you would just like stand there and shoot or you'd, comically explode them. But now every encounter is just engaging. So it's a perfect example of that.
Nice.
I think the technical means of what a PS6 could do, while not able to, like, it can only go so far. I think lighting effects will be enhanced, but I think it'll just be easier for developers to create those special effects with less work that may involve AI. But I feel like that's where Xbox is going. I'm sure Sony will go there to an extent, but it's nice to see good old-fashioned developing and developers making games to just this degree, this level, where it's basically a AAA game. I would consider this a AAA game, and it's taking a franchise that we know and love, IP we know and love, and taking it to the next level where it pushes a PS5. And looks great on PS5 Pro, but also caters to the Switch too.
And one final thing I'd like to say on it, which is always overlooked in a lot of games, is the audio in this game is phenomenal. it sounds fantastic. The leaps and bounds we've had, you can talk about graphics all you want, but we've gone from, most people playing out of the TV speakers like I did for years, then most people moving to headphones. Now we have 3D audio, and that just ramps everything up to 11. You'll just be walking down a corridor and then you'll hear a creak, but that creak sounds like it is slightly behind you or it's above you. A guy will just be running it, and it just elevates everything. And I really do think that games nowadays, they don't get enough credit for the audio. So if you do have a pair of headphones, you can turn 3D audio on. They even have this, I forget what it's called now, but basically another option which takes a bit more power. It might be PC only, but it makes it even more directional and even easier to hear where things are coming from. And in a game like that, where you will just be like slowly moving forward and getting creeped out, and if something drops, oh, it's so good. So yeah, please play with headphones. Don't butcher it by just putting out your TV speakers.
Well, let's move on to the next story because Capcom is cooking, but so is Tim Cook.
Nice.
That segue. Thank you. Apple CEO Tim Cook confirms new products start arriving on Monday. That is a big deal because we're expecting a lot of new Apple products right when we're in the middle of Barcelona Mobile Congress.
Aren't you so excited to just fly to Spain and just sit down on our laptops and write about Apple stuff the whole time we're there and then fly home?
And the ironic thing is, it's not happening here in the Bay Area. It's not in Cupertino.
It's
going to be in our backyard in New York City.
Yes, it is.
What?
Enjoy the time difference, guys.
Right? Yeah. Well, Max and I are not going to sleep. Reese will be out there, who's a contributor on the Shortcut. That's going to be fun. So we'll meet Reese in person.
I didn't realize this.
I just realized. He messaged me this morning on Slack. We will talk so much crap on Adam.
He gets around.
Reese is loyal to me. He's raised him well.
For now.
Okay.
I'll just
Don't you dare give him if I see Reese with a red mic cover or a jacket.
He has an iPhone 17 Pro.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going to bring the latest iPhone. Give it to Reese.
Don't you dare.
He gets an iPhone. He gets a pink suit. He gets a red suit. He gets a gold suit. A red microphone.
Ideas, guys. This is great.
This is pretty good. But at least you have that hoodie.
I'm losing it.
Okay.
Can I hang myself with these?
Oh wow.
We just got demonetized right there.
Yeah.
So,
Between Matt's sexting scandals and Adam's threats of
Anyways, let's go on to classier news. Apple. Yeah, no wonder they don't love us. So Tim Cook confirmed on social media that this Monday, or this upcoming one in a couple days, we'll see new Apple products. Max, what do you think is coming on March 4th? This special experience for the media.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff that we've been anticipating for months now. A lot of people saw this teaser on X and on Instagram and immediately thought, "Oh, touchscreen MacBook finally." No. That might come later. It's probably going to come in the fall. We're not expecting that whatsoever. We are expecting a lot of lower end stuff. So iPhone 17e is probably right around the corner. We'll probably see a budget MacBook that's supposed to be powered by like an iPhone processor with a slightly tweaked design, fun colors. A couple of new iPads maybe. So an OLED iPad Air, OLED iPad Mini. We may also see the much anticipated M5 Pro and M5 Max MacBook Pros. Could see some new studio displays. We've heard rumors about that. The long shot Hail Mary product is the smart home display powered by the new Siri. There's like a weird chance that pops up. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be more conventional product lines for Apple for this cycle. But it's probably going to be just like a ton of stuff, like all at once. And then they're going to demo it for the media on the 4th. In New York, London, and Shanghai, where they'll have their special experiences.
Great, and we'll be in Barcelona. They should have had a Barcelona one. Just
that would have been nice.
Soak up all the attention from a lot of rival manufacturers of Chinese smartphones.
I'm kind of curious what everybody here is most excited for. I feel like the budget MacBook is going to be a killer product.
Yeah,
I will. I don't want to say it's chump change, but like, for us to, if we don't get one in for review, it is an easy, okay, let's expense that and get it in because it's such a novel product and it's not going to be super expensive.
Yeah.
I think it's a great laptop just to have to cart around. I want a good keyboard. I want like the Mac style keyboard that my muscle memory is trained on.
100%.
And a display. Like
Right.
it's an iPhone powered MacBook.
Yeah.
Love
I love a good parts bin Apple product so
Sure.
much. Like when they can ace it, and I feel like this might be their first time where they can like really take the guts of like all of their stuff and put it into one thing and ship it out. And they're gonna charge like $700 for it or something.
That's
Like
a great
it's
price.
just an insane price. It's gonna kill the budget laptop market. Besides
Right.
like the laptops that cost like $100, $200, like everything else is just dead at that point because you're gonna
What-
have this laptop that's gonna be so overpowered for what it is.
What intrigues me is, will the M1 MacBook Air, which is below that $700 mark,
It will
Right.
go away. Yes.
well, that'll go away. But it will, when people benchmark it, will they be like, well, the M1 was always faster, right? That
Hmm.
so, what are they doing to make this more appealing, despite having a way different chipset in it?
Yeah, so it's the it'll either be the A18 or A19 Pro chip.
Okay.
There's some conflicting reports about that, but both of those chips generally benchmark a lot higher than the M2. And so like if this is going to replace the M1 MacBook Air, then I imagine this laptop's going to be way too fast for
Yeah.
what the price is going to be. So they're going to differentiate a little bit like that. Battery life is probably going to be excellent. The design is probably going to be like the M1 MacBook Air is now, with like the thinner chassis, like the 2 ports, Retina display, obviously, comfortable keyboard, comfortable enough. It might be like the ultimate MacBook Air because it'll be more portable than the actual MacBook Air.
This is gonna be so light.
And
I
it's,
missed my
no
12
paper
inch.
chamber or anything.
it might, yeah, it's going to be between 12 and 13 inches. It's probably going to be slightly smaller than the regular MacBook Air, which is 13.6. So this one
Okay.
might be 12.9.
I'm fine with that. I
Same.
miss my 12-inch gold MacBook. You know,
I wanted one of those
Regular
for
MacBook.
so long. I wish they would resurrect that one and just put
Yeah.
like the
High-end.
A19 Pro or something in it and just call it a day.
yeah.
Like that's what I want. But we'll get something similar.
Yeah. So the other thing you mentioned, the smart display that's like basically a HomePod with a screen on it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the rumor. I think is my prediction. Could be wrong, but it's a wild prediction. It feels a little early for it because like it hasn't been leaked. But whenever they do new product categories, and yes, it is a new product category in my opinion. It's an evolution.
Oh, it is.
Of,
It is.
of the smart of the HomePod. They could tease it and show it either behind glass or what they did with the original HomePod, where it was just like there's it's on a stand and the photographers are taking pictures of it. I think they could do that same thing because Apple will never announce something early and not have it out within like 2 weeks, maybe a month if there's like some delays that happen in producing and manufacturing things. That happens on certain colors, it happens on certain models. But they always want to not stem the flow of their customer base from buying the previous version, right?
Yeah.
But with a new product category, they don't really have that problem. So they've done that before with the iPad, the HomePod, the Apple Watch, the Apple Vision Pro, where they teased those out months prior, right? Because there was nothing out there that people were going to be like, I'm not going to buy the iPad Zero, the Apple Vision Pro Zero. Like, there's nothing out there. So they don't have that usual problem. They can't pre-announce an iPhone and not come out with it for 6
Yeah.
months because everybody be waiting and not buying that old version. So that's my guess. Could be wrong, but they could, easily come out with this HomePod with a screen as a tease, and then come out with it either Worldwide Developers Conference or this fall.
It could be a tease. I feel like they're going to announce it probably at WWDC in June, and then just say it'll be available in September. Just like launch it with the iPhone or something.
Okay, I'll count myself as half correct if that happens because it just shifts the dates.
Yeah,
But
just
that's
a little bit.
It's just a new product category. I think they can do that.
Yeah.
Let's go quickly to, you kind of mentioned the MacBook Pro. What happens
Touchscreen.
there, right? With like the touch screen.
Yeah,
alluded to that. Bloomberg had a story. Tell us about this latest update.
Yeah, so there was some chatter that the touchscreen MacBook Pro could be delayed to 2027. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore. It looks like it's going to ship this year, probably October, November timeline. Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg is reporting that the new MacBook Pro will have big touchscreen, dynamic island, so it's going to ditch the notch and it's going to adapt the same dynamic island from the iPhone. I guess that also means Face ID is on the way, which could be really exciting. It'll also have a new version of Mac OS. Apple's supposed to revamp the system again so that when you touch the screen, all of the controls become a little bit bigger. I don't know how many people are going to actually use a touchscreen on their MacBook, but I guess it'll be kind of nice to just be able to hit something if your mouse cursor is too far away. And it'll be a little bit thinner. It'll look some different way, I guess. It'll probably be powered by a couple new chips. This was just more so Bloomberg just reporting again, it's probably going to come out this year. But it looks like it's going to be a very exciting upgrade. And I know me and you were probably going to buy one on day one.
Sure. Yeah, they're taking all of our money. We want the A-powered cheap one. We want the new high-end one because it's new design.
Yeah.
I could see us getting it and flaunting it in front of Adam. Be like, hey.
I was gonna just say Adam is once again
Left
he's
out.
still on a Mac M1 Mac Mini.
I'm gonna send Adam an old trash can Mac Pro, and we're gonna see how he makes out with that.
It won't work, but it'll actually be a trash can. Yeah.
It's really bad though, isn't it, that I'm eyeing up the iPhone 17e, worried that it's going to outperform and have better specs than my iPhone 12. iPhone
it absolutely
13 Pro.
will.
Yeah,
100%.
So
that really hurts.
let's move on to the
Some more
last story
cameras.
for Adam. And then we're going to quickly go on because I know we only have about 10 minutes left. We started a little bit late. That was X's fault for locking down my account. Thank you very much.
Locking down multiple accounts, apparently.
So Amazon Alexa Plus gets new personalities. Adam, quickly tell us about this. I know you probably have to sign off in the UK, but tell us about chill, brief, sweet, etc.
Yeah, basically, if you use Amazon Alexa Plus, the new and improved AI assistant from Amazon, you can choose different personalities. So if you don't like the cut of its jib, which I think is a very English phrase, I probably lost all of you there.
I was going to say, I don't even know what the
I
hell
said that
that
the other
means.
day. To Matt.
We use it, but just to tease you guys. So yeah.
Right, yeah. So you can choose between 3 different personalities now. There's brief, which is exactly how it sounds. So if you ask Amazon Alexa Plus a question, it'll just get straight to the point.
Why
Got
use
chill.
lot word when few word do trick? See?
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody gets that reference at all?
No.
That made my
Sorry.
brain hurt.
Yeah.
be honest.
My brain bent
You
half
do
on that
more,
one.
but do more. Okay.
Showing my age. Okay.
And then, well, you're not, are you? There's chill, which is obviously a more relaxed and just kind of just laid back AI assistant, if that's your jam. And then there's sweet, which is probably the oddest one for me because this one's kind of going to like hype you up and be super positive and just, lift you on the dark days when you ask what the weather is. I guess it's just going to tell you it in a really upbeat kind of way.
Right.
More personalities are coming in the future. I wonder if we'll get celebrity-based ones. Do you remember when they did that for a bit?
I
think
don't
that-
want that.
I remember
I
when
think it's going to happen.
yeah.
I
I remember when
want
Sonos they got the guy from Breaking Bad for their speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, which one?
Shit.
Walter White.
What's his what's his name? Gus.
Jesse Pinkman?
Gus Fring's
Oh, Gus.
actor.
No
Gus
way.
Fring,
Oh,
the actor for
That's
Gus
quite
Fring.
cool.
Anyway, that guy. Yeah, they got him, and it sounded very sinister, like he was about to kill me.
That's quite cool. I know Waze did a little segment where you could get like, you could do Halo, you could have Master Chief basically telling which directions to go. That's really cool. But basically, yeah, that's basically it. If you want to change the personalities, or you don't like the cut of its jib, I'll use it again. You can change it to one of these new personalities with more to come.
well, Amazon, call us up if you want the celebrities from the shortcut. All 4 of us are available for work. So with the AI that you are helping administer, putting fellow journalists out of jobs with AWS servers, you just
Right.
right that wrong. And All right, let's briefly talk about the Honor Magic Pad thinner. That's thinner than an iPad Pro OLED.
Yeah.
That
How
is
thin that iPad was.
sure. So
It's like
a Chinese company is going one step further.
yeah. So this new Android tablet is now 4.8 millimeters thick. The iPad Pro was already crazy 5.1 millimeters thick. It's thinner. It has a 12.83-inch screen, 1 inch smaller than previous, but it's faster. It's an OLED also. It's 165 hertz. Has this crazy 10,100 milliamp battery. That's as big as like the big block batteries we get for Anchor, and it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chip paired with 12 gigabytes RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. Yeah, Magic OS 10, which is based on Android.
So we're going to keep that one there because we're running out of time, hour-long show. But I will say we're probably going to see this at Mobile World Congress, almost undoubtedly. So, yeah, Boom in the Sky says, what are you gents hoping to see at Mobile World Congress? This is one of the things. Lenovo always has something spectacular. So we'll see what they have. Yeah, this is definitely
there's a lot to see
at Mobile Congress.
I saw Techno has a modular phone. Nothing, just announced 2 things. Yeah, more for tomorrow.
Nothing phone 4A, pretty in pink. So Max, close us out with this story because it's the last one. It's not really Elton John in this.
That's not Elton John.
You gaslit the entire Slack.
I did.
Yesterday when I kept rewinding, I'm like, they really did get Elton John. It is totally
looks like Elton John.
It looks. Thank you, Adam. It looks like Elton John. I thought they paid Sir Elton John to promote a mid-range Android phone because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I put it on our Slack. I spent so much time trying to figure out if it was him. Matt immediately just goes, "This is not Elton John."
Yeah,
but I also spent so much time looking at it. You wasted so much company valuable resource.
We needed to do that research for the live show, Matthew. See,
why
I feel like
sure
that looks
not Elton John.
That's what I'm saying. This looks just like Elton John.
On Max's side, it looks it's got the Elton John flashiness. It looks like it's Elton John.
Yeah, sure. But in the video, you could be like, no, he would never sell out this hard.
He might have. I mean, look, Paris Hilton keeps doing it, right? They're supposed to have some partnership with Paris Hilton on this phone. The whole marketing stint here, by the way, is because this phone's just going to ship in pink. The phone 4A will come in pink. Nothing's making a huge deal out of this. I'm not really sure why. They're just trying to make a scene, I suppose. It is a mid-range Android phone that will come in pink, and they got a Elton John impersonator to promote it. So
I still don't understand what the condom was all about in that marketing promo.
I plan to have a lot of really uncomfortable conversations with some of the Nothing people while we're in Barcelona. And just as a side note, they also tease a new pair of headphones, a headphone A. It'll be their first mid-range over-ear headphones. We'll probably check those out in Mobile World Congress as well. Like 159, something like that. Yeah, and they'll come in yellow, pink, black, white, bunch of different colors. So this should be kind of fun.
Let's end it there. So if you want to see Max and I and possibly Reese with all the gadgets that we're going to bestow upon him, really tired, we are going to be dead.
You need a new suitcase for all that.
Right? I know. So we're going to be live from Barcelona. We're going to figure out when the heck we can go live. That's going to be a trip, literally. So guys, thank you for joining me remotely as I continue to do this from San Francisco, coming back tonight, then going to Barcelona, a live show in New York in between. We are going to wrap up tomorrow. We're going to wrap up the week. Thank you for tuning in. And in 23 hours, we're going to have more content about the Samsung and so much more. Stay tuned. See you then.
Peace.
See ya.